Millie here, and I thought for today we should talk about Pokemon. Because, why not? It's a topic I don't get to talk about frequently, and I want it to be a part of this channel a little bit more as much as Fire Emblem is. Though Fire Emblem is my current flame at the moment, Pokemon has been a flame for a very long time for me. Considering I am as old as Pokemon itself, Pokemon has a big effect on my life. And I thought we should talk about what should be included in the future Pokemon games. I'm not specifically talking about Gen 8 because Gen 8 can be about anything and I can't predict the future. So, I'm going to talk about some things that I hope might come into this series someday, be it Gen 8 or Gen 20. We really don't know how long Pokemon is going to last for, so I might as well give my ideas at least a shot. So here we go. The first thing I want to talk about is Pokemon following you. Now yes, this has been talked about by many people who have played either Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, or Heart Gold and Soul Silver. It was a fantastic thing, especially in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, since every single Pokemon available at the time has the ability to follow behind you. Now for me, I had this experience in Pokemon Yellow, which would explain why I have a like for Pikachu, especially my Pikachu named Violet, who I recently reunited with. This needs to come back. We've had proof that it was supposed to be in Gen 7 in Sun and Moon, but it didn't happen because, well, they pushed the 3DS to its limits in Gen 7. I mean, Sun and Moon. They pushed it a lot. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. They absolutely pushed it to the limit. Which is why it's the last Pokemon game on the 3DS. Why? Because if they were to put even more into the game, I don't think the 3DS can handle it. So that's just a thing that I think it should come back, especially with that proof of animations of Pokemon walking and running behind you. Or at least just the models walking and running. I mean, if it was in there, it has to mean something, right? Right? Moving on. Alright, player customization, here we go. We need a lot more player customization, and I mean in the freedom department, and in choice of clothing, honestly. When I got Sun and Moon, I thought, oh cool! There's gonna be a lot more clothes in here! So let me say something, when I got Pokemon Sun and Moon, I thought that when I arrived on Ula Ula Island and discovered Malu City was created from people from both Kanto and Johto, it would mean that I would get clothing that is Eastern inspired because I am a sucker for Japanese clothing. However, when I went into the store in Malu City, that was not the case. It just... Really? Game Freak, you had an opportunity here to give me some Japanese-style clothing. Hell, I would have taken school uniforms or something really girly, like J-pop related or something. Kimonos, please? No, I don't get anything along the lines of that. So, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon comes along. Go to Malu City. As you say, the same options. Sure, they put a lot of more stuff into the game, just not in the clothing options. And, of course, the clothing options aren't all that great either. In fact, I will say in X and Y, the clothings were much more appreciated. Not in Sun and Moon. Even for the guys. Nothing really looked stunning. Though I have not played in X and Y as a guy, I will say they probably have it better in X and Y than in Sun and Moon. But besides that, Sun, Moon, I think we need a lot more hairstyles for both genders. And the option to let you see what you're picking, or else you're just spending money for no reason on a hairstyle you don't even like. And they really need to have a color wheel. Why is it so hard to implement a color wheel? Game Freak, you ain't Bethesda. It's also why I don't like Bethesda games currently, because you got rid of the goddamn color wheel or color sliders. Please, let me have different color hair. And also, don't lock hair colors till after you beat the Elite Four. That is just... We also did that with hairstyles too, so I didn't get my pigtails and them until after the game. That's all I asked for. Color wheels, color sliders, and nothing locked behind a story. I want to look the way I want to look for the entire game. Please? Especially considering when there's cutscenes, I kind of want to stay the same as throughout. Please? And on the note of cutscenes, it wouldn't be bad to have a cutscene viewer. I don't know how hard it is to do that, but apparently to the Saints Row 2 team it is kind of hard to do that, so all I'm saying is that if you can, do it. If not, okay, it's not a big deal, but the hair and color thing and everything else I said about character customization, please. Okay, this third one is kind of a dream of mine that I thought it could maybe happen one of these days, and I don't see it being that much of a problem for it to happen. And it's actually really... It pertains to many things. So let's call this Pokemon accessory / variation / customization. It's a mouthful, I know. But what am I saying? Anyway, along Pokemon accessory, I think if you give your Pokemon a specific item to hold, it should have a physical appearance somewhere. Like with the X and Y anime, when a character had a Megastone, it was both apparent on the character design of the trainer and the design of the Pokemon of where they hold their Megastone and Keystone. Now, I really like that idea, but in the games, that is not a thing. They just appear to be holding the item, but you don't know where they're holding the item. So say you give your Pokemon a silk scarf. Okay, they're holding a scarf, and that's it. Say in a new generation, you give your Pokemon a silk scarf, and then you can see them wearing the silk scarf somewhere on the character model. That would be ultimately adorable. But they could also give you an option to give a Pokemon a accessory that doesn't do anything and it doesn't take up a holding slot. Like with me, with Violet, I would give her a pink bow, as always, because it's Violet, and I always imagined her with a pink bow on her right ear. That would make my dream come true. That would be the best thing I could imagine. Moving on to Pokemon variations, I think a lot of Pokemon should not look the same. It's just me. I think like every Pokemon should have a different quirk or such. Like Spinda, every Spinda is different. You will not come across an identical Spinda unless you are very, very lucky. They don't necessarily have to look so different. They can have different eye colors, maybe their fur is shaped a different way than to a normal style of that Pokemon. Maybe they have a different spot, color scale, something different, so that Pokemon don't look the same. Now, that might be a tall order considering there's also shiny Pokemon to be there. I mean, if you have one version of a Pokemon, you need to have a shiny version of that exact same Pokemon with that exact variation. That might cause a lot more work than it's worth, but it is something I dreamt of. Or if not, it can go into the next tile that I'm thinking of, which is Pokemon customization. Now, it's a stupid idea, yes, but if they can't do that to make every single Pokemon you encounter different in some slight way, then maybe give them the player customization route and give it to the Pokemon. Like in Sun and Moon and in X and Y, you can change your eye colors with contacts. So say you can give contacts to your Pokemon and they can have a completely different eye color or one eye is one color, one eye is the other color, and you have a very unique Pokemon. So now you can differentiate with other people's Pokemon of the same species. I think it's a good idea. It's crazy, but I love that idea, and I would totally get the next game that has that in it. Where would you do this? Now, they could bring back the Pokemon Salon thing that they had in X and Y, where Furfrou could change its fur style when you bring them there. It could work that way, or you can do that within Pokemon Refresh or Pokemon Ami version of whatever the newest version of Pokemon Ami, Pokemon Refresh. You could do it from within there. Or maybe you could go to a Pokemon Center, I don't know. I kind of like the idea of going to a Pokemon Center to change your clothes and everything, because it's like a universal thing nowadays, because you can do a lot of things in a Pokemon Center, especially in X and Y. You can go rest up your Pokemon, you can go change your clothes, change your eye color, change your anything else. And you can also buy things at the Pokemon. Now in Sun and Moon, they replaced the changing room with a little cafe, which it's not that bad. I wish I could sit in the chairs though. Remember when the chair sitting was the most mind-blowing thing? I don't know. Why was that a mind-blowing thing again? Oh yeah, because Pokemon switched to 3D and they're like, look, you can sit in chairs now! And then they removed that feature in like the next 2 games, I think. Again, it's stupid, but still. Number 2! Return to PSS! Please, for the love of God, return to PSS! Nobody likes the plaza. Nobody likes Festival Plaza. The only reason to go to the Festival Plaza is if you're trying to get your Pokemon to level 100. Or trying to get certain colors for your shirts, which are color exclusive in Sun and Moon, which is bullshit, by the way. That should also be a thing in the player customization. Please get rid of that. Nobody wants that. It does give new meanings to berries, but just give us another activity along the lines of Pokemon contest. Actually, give us the thing that was in the Pokemon X and Y anime, and I will be happy. Anyway, return to PSS system. That was nice. Clean. I know where everything is. I know what I can do with my friends. I can see people who are passing by. I can see random strangers from across the world. And I can do things simply with just a touch of a button, or the touch screen in this case. I can just do one thing and then I get to pick what I can do with them. Say hi, hello, happy birthday! You want to trade? You want to battle? You want to do something? Blah, 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 blah. That was all fine, and I don't know what happened that made them want to have the Festival Plaza, which, honestly, right now I gotta say the truth, I don't even know how to battle people that are on my friends list, so yeah, Festival Plaza is bad. Bring back the PSS, please. And number 1 is higher difficulty? Or at least the option for a higher difficulty. I feel like at this point, we need a higher difficulty. Now, there was a higher difficulty in Black and White and Black and White 2. It was an option, but only after you completed the game the first time, I think? That was the case? But that was a nice little breeze. Also, let's take this back to Gen 2. Right now, I'm playing through Crystal on my 3DS, which, by the way, is my first journey through Johto. My journey started in Kanto, it's ending in Johto, and in between I have visited Hoenn twice. Yeah, my timeline is fucked up indeed. But anyway, we need a higher difficulty, and I want it to have the option to. If you choose the normal difficulty, you will go on with all the hand-holding and such. If not, you will go on as normal, you will get to skip the tutorials. Well, actually, I think that should be a feature, and if you're going through the normal route, you should be able to skip the tutorials. I mean, you can do that in Crystal. You can skip the catching Pokemon tutorial. Why has this not been a thing from the start? I mean, seriously? Why did that go away? I I knew how to catch a Pokemon, I could say no to this tutorial. Sweet, I can get on with my journey. I thought I would have to sit through it, but I don't. And that needs to return. But the difficulty I'm talking about is something along the lines of... Whitney. Oh, that Miltank. But something along that lines, yes. Not exactly like Whitney's Miltank, but it will get harder and harder as you go on, which is what I like. Which is why if I was a Pokemon gym leader, I would have had 6 Pokemon on my team, and depending which way Violet had gone each time you visit the gym, if you get defeated, or on a random playthrough, she would go either left or right, and one way you would face me normally in single battles. If she went the other way, then you would have faced me in double battles, and my team would have been specifically made with double battles in mind. Which is why I think that progressively they should go... Every gym should be harder and harder each one you face. If it's in order, or if you get to choose which gym you go to, they should progressively get harder and harder and harder on your way to Victory Road and the Elite Four and the Champion. As a challenge I will greatly accept. And I really want that to be the case. So those are all of my ideas that I hope Pokemon will take in the future, be it Gen 8 or Gen 100 or something. Again, we don't know how long Pokemon will last. But these are just some ideas that might improve the series. And a lot of these were things that I've wanted since I was a kid, especially the accessory thing. But some of these things are from the community as a whole that agree that Pokemon should do this again, or take this route, or whatever. Most of us are in agreement with this, but still. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time, depending what it is. Tell me if you want me to do more Pokemon stuff. I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye!